So the windows are open so we can see the trees.
And the building that looks like an outhouse, but it's really the well house. I could move over and block that, but anyway. Well,
no, houses. Oh my God.
okay.
Go ahead.
Who's got a phone ringing? Let's see here. All righty. Okay.
Lisa, are you home? Never mind. Later.
So let's begin. So I invite you to find that comfortable position in the chair, relaxing, allowing the chair to support the weight of your body. And bring your attention inward by closing your outer eyes and bringing your attention into your heart. And I invite you to breathe breathe deeply 3 times, breathing down into the belly, allowing the belly to expand as you breathe in deeply, filling the chest with air as well. Then exhaling with a soft sigh. Breathe in again deeply, opening and expanding with the breath. Exhaling fully and gently with a sigh. One more time, we breathe in deeply, welcoming the breath, centering within, and another release with a sigh. And now allow the breath to find a natural rhythm, but perhaps consciously relaxing, slowing down the breath. With every exhale, we let go of any concerns. We let go of outer influences. We let go of any unbalanced emotions. And so centering within, we let go of the outer. We let go of any negativity. We let go of distractions. Bringing our attention inward, we align with divine love in our heart center. Taking a moment to energetically embrace yourself, giving yourself a hug of love. Forgiving yourself for upsets, forgiving yourself for moving out of balance if you have, or anytime we can do that. And centered in our hearts, we lovingly accept ourselves unconditionally just as we are. For we are that perfect expression of spirit. Each one the light and love of the divine. Keeping your attention in your heart, just notice the breath coming in and going out. And think about a beautiful light filling your heart space. And then expanding that light so that it extends past your body. For you are not your body. You are not your thoughts, your emotions and feelings. And as we let that light of love from our hearts, filled with the infinite love of the divine, for ourselves and for others, We extend that light out from ourselves into the world. First, into the room where you are. Feel the shift in the energy as you hold that intention. And then extend it past your home, encompassing all that you know personally, friends and family, acquaintances, co-workers, fellow congregants. Notice the shift in your heart space. And now we extend that love out to those with whom we may have conflict or disagreement or upsets. Knowing that any unloving thoughts, words, or actions are coming from a place of fear and pain. We bless each one and affirm their peace and well-being. And then our love extends to Mother Earth, encompassing our beautiful planet, seeing her coming into balance, see her balanced and whole and well, that all of life is in harmony. Feel that sense of harmony and balance within yourself. Notice how it feels to think about harmony, to hold that intention for yourself and for all else. Take another deep breath. And I invite you to affirm for yourself, I am divine harmony, balanced and centered, peaceful and content. And we claim that energy and vibration for all, for it is our natural state as spiritual beings. And we give thanks for that. In the name of the one power and one presence. Amen. When you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back.
All right.
Meditations. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so good morning. I know it's afternoon, but it's still my morning. So good morning.
Good morning.
I hope yeah. I hope everybody's okay, or at least okay. You know, if we have an okay line drawn, if you're just okay, it's fine. But our intentions are always to come back higher in harmony and vibration. So the question for today is, so you get up tomorrow and somebody gifted you $20 million. Uh, what are the first three things that you would do with it? Okay, first three things that you would do. You woke up, somebody gifted you $20 million. What are you gonna do? So Charlotte,
That would be great. I would make a plan and I would give part of it away and I would give part of it to my children. And then I would do something wild and crazy that I would want to do.
okay, thank you. Reverend Virginia.
Well, my first thought is to give at least 10% to a nonprofit, to some charity, some way to help others. I would probably
Okay.
take a really fabulous trip and invest some of it.
Okay. Elsa.
Well, I will look a way to invest to make the to make profitable the 20 millions, so I can divide in three parts for charity, so I can continue to do charity for the long run.
Okay.
Because I mean, if I don't invest it and continue that, the money can go away very quickly. So I need to invest it, and I will be an entrepreneur in that part to do good with it. Because now I will have to take care of that money in order to help others. So that will be actually my job to do now.
Okay.
So, and in the meantime, I will do trips, which I like to travel a lot, to continue doing good all around the world.
Right.
So that will help me. So 20 million is not enough, so I have to
No.
invest it.
No,
So I
exactly.
have to invest it and make more. So
Right. That was the point, because I'm gonna come back with another question. Sam, you just won 20 million. I mean, you just woke up and you had 20 extra $million.
I like the way you put that extra. I'm happy to report the first thing that came to my mind was give I don't have it like percentage wise, but I would give a, um, a significant part to charities and to someone who really needed help. You know, we got so many homeless and so much going on that people need help just to survive. That would be one of them. Number two, it would be pay my bills and find a way to invest it in something that it would grow, so I can continue to give, tithe, and and help the planet and the people of the planet. And the third thing is definitely travel. Travel and off the beaten path kind of places, and places, there's a lot of places I've never been, and to get to know other cultures better. I would like that.
Okay. Thank you. Diane, you woke up and there was 20 extra $million on your bank account and it's yours. What are the first three things you would do with them?
I would first check to see if it was for real or a fraud. I'd have to verify it with the bank because I don't buy lottery tickets, so I don't know how it would show up there, So first I'd check to see if it was fraud.
A fairy godmother went and left you some, okay? remember that things don't have to come from you. That's one of the lessons here. Things do not have to come from you. You do not have to work for them. It's a different mindset.
That's
Let
cool.
them come to you, but you have to have the opportunity to, you have to think of what it is you're going to use the money for. Money's a medium of exchange, so we're always exchanging that. So what would you do aside from what you said, aside from verifying?
Oh, probably I'd want to try and pay off the bills that we have to be financially secure there. And I can't even fathom what $20 million would be like having, I really have always tried to live my life where money is not a big issue, because God always makes sure there's enough. But I do have this little bit of worry in the background as far as don't overspend. I don't like to go into debt with credit cards and stuff like that. So I try to be more conscious and a good steward. I definitely would want to tithe to my church, try to unity. I would fix up the places that we have that we're trying to call for rental places. I would continue to live my life the way I am. I would continue to try to create environments where people could live that would be comfortable and nice. Probably expand the house I live in to where I'd have more privacy for myself and my husband, kind of things like that.
Sounds good. 20 million is not that much. So, I mean, I'm just getting you there. Thank you. Okay, so for me, the
You
20
didn't ask
million.
me.
Oh my
Do I
goodness.
do I get 20 million too?
You get the extra 20 million.
Or,
Yes.
or am I getting less or more because I'm not chosen?
No. You're getting 20 million like everybody else.
All right. And Rev hasn't gone either if she comes back.
Did.
Or maybe she went. Oh, she went first. Sorry. Oh, you know what? My son is just relocating. He wants to buy a vineyard, and I would buy him a vineyard. He just had a baby, so I would buy my house next to his vineyard so that I could see my baby, my grandchild. I mean, I'm a grandma, and I would definitely start like a nonprofit to do some. I'd have to think about where I would want to put the money for donation.
It's not that much. It's only 20 million. So
I know. So I'd have to
I
decide
didn't
what's
put
really
it way
important.
out there.
I definitely would donate a lot of it, most of it. I would invest some of it. Definitely take, like Rev said, I would take some trips. That's, yeah, and give some all to my friends. I could give some to all my friends.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. And Diane,
We're all your friends here. Hi.
Okay, Sam, you're my friend now.
Thank you. Even though we all
get
got extras,
That's how you get extra friends.
Right.
How about you, dear? I want to hear yours.
I will buy me a new car. Probably a house. I never wanted to own a house because of all the repairs, and you always continuously have to keep upkeep and this and that, and I never wanted to deal with that. And the grass is growing, and this has to be done, and that has to be done, and it's like I don't want to be tied to something that will make me its slave. So no, that's not me. I probably rent a luxury house, where I'll be, and I will travel to I don't know that many states in the United States, so I'll probably take a trek. I would like to take a train and go on a long journey train wise. That's just a couple of things, 3 things that I would do. But now this comes with a second with a second thing that gets you to think higher than your thought, than what you normally think about. What would you do if tomorrow, no, if today you found that the universe gifted you $1 billion? Okay, I'm gonna go with Charlotte. Now you have $1 billion, Charlotte. It's gonna have to bring you out of yourself. So I want you to think like a billionaire would. I want you to give me 3 things that a billionaire might do. Unmute.
A good billionaire would give away a lot of it.
Right, but who would you give? This time is not like I'm just gonna donate money. I want to know what it is exactly you're going to donate to and why.
I would give to like Feeding Tampa Bay, places like that, Metropolitan Ministries, Humane Society, you know, a couple of different churches that do good things and who help people that are homeless and help feed people, that type of thing.
Okay, that would be one thing. Keep
Right.
going.
So the next thing would be to invest it so that I could take the money that I would earn and still donate even more money to these type of places and maybe invest in some companies that do make it nice for people to come into work. And but that also earn good income for me. And I also would like to travel quite a bit and see many places I haven't been.
Give me an example of one exotic place you would like to visit.
Oh wow. There's so many I want to see.
One.
Just one.
Just one.
I think I'd like to go to like Sweden and Norway, up in there. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Charlotte.
Okay.
Did you give me 3 or the was? No, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did. Okay, Sam.
If I'm a billionaire and I got to think like a billionaire, then I'm
Not
thinking
if
that
you. No, not if you are a billionaire.
okay, I'm a billionaire by a gift.
You know, what are you doing with the talents that the universe gave you?
Okay, I didn't earn it. It was a gift.
Everything in your life that you receive is a gift.
Okay.
Everything.
Well, billionaire, I would say I would invest to make more money, to do good things, and you know, I think I would look at myself a little bit more this trip around and maybe get the new car and the home, you know, and some type of security, which I don't have right now, and help my friends out who need some help right now.
Okay.
So after investing, I'd have money to do things for large groups of people, but also to do one-on-one giving to people.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Diane.
I was jotting down some ideas. You said 3, huh? So I was trying to figure out which one of the ideas I came up with would be my 3 top ones. I would definitely hire someone to do a family tree so I could find out, my heritage and what have you from people that I don't know, like my dad's family. I don't know where he came from because he was basically raised by a foster dad, foster dad, or not an adopted dad, just somebody that raised him, like took him in and took him under his wing. So I'd love to know more about what my dad's family tree was. I'd love to travel to Ireland because I think I've got family history in Ireland. I'd go there. I'd pay off all my debts, and then I'd also make sure that the kids were stable for whatever education they might want to try to get in life to get them smart to do things. So that's 4.
Okay,
4.
thank you. Lisa,
Well, am I there? Can you hear me? Okay.
yeah.
Like Charlotte, I already donate to those places that she mentioned. So I think the basic needs of people is really important, like housing and food, or healthcare. But I think I also really want to maybe open some ashrams and schools, build schools and do something education wise. And maybe if I was a billionaire, I could talk to Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and do some collaboration with them. But I would definitely do some spiritual things, more spiritual things too. I would travel. And now that I have the $1 billion, I could buy a house in different places that I like to live. But $1 billion is 1,000 million, right? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And what is there, like just a handful that are billionaires in the world or in the country?
No, there's more billionaires than you would expect. There's
Than
quite
you
a few.
Are there?
Mhm.
But no, I would just, my whole life then I would just do a foundation and then work at what were my real passions and work with those particularly. Animals, spirituality, education, health. Well, not health. I'm going to say food and housing. Those are the areas that I would focus on.
Okay, thank you.
How about you?
I'm not there yet.
Oh,
Elsa?
you're not there. Oh, rap too. And Elsa.
Well, I think I will continue with my first 3, which is invested, but now I will invest in particularly in AI, BI, IoT, and real estate because they're hot and going to have a lot of profit. So I will have more millions and billions. So I can do my second one, which will be investing given to nonprofit organizations, which I will start with health nonprofit organizations because everybody needs a lot more health than we have. And how Rashila was saying in the food, I will try to heal the world and the earth mostly from all those pesticides and all the different things, which is killing our food. I will try also to invest more in education for children's and the adults, so they can take care better of the children and those nonprofit organizations. And my third, that it was travel. I will continue being an entrepreneur so I can meet more people all around the world and see what is going on in each country so I can continue helping healing the world.
Thank you, Elsa.
You're welcome.
Aside from Virginia, did I miss anybody? Your turn. You're on.
Well, I agree with what a lot of people are saying about setting up foundations that would be ongoing for shelters for the homeless, food for the hungry, medical care, education, those kind of things. I also like the idea of helping the environment. And I've always wanted to own my own spiritual center. With that kind of money, I might buy an island.
You're on private island.
I
I'm
Okay.
on
like that.
Private Island, yeah,
I
for a
like that.
retreat center. And
That's good.
of course, I'd probably get a better car and a house and people to take care of it so I don't have to. But yeah.
There's the key.
Yeah.
So aside
Oh,
from
and I almost forgot the exotic places I would like to visit. The Galapagos Islands.
one, that's it. You're done.
I can't wait to say Tibet.
No, I said one exotic place. Okay. I grew up in a house that was a boarding house for students that were into the um, technical schools. So I grew up with a lot of kids in the house and a lot of young, older teens, because they were all going to either be plumbers or electricians, or we even had electrical engineers. Later on, as I grew up, then all that changed to, it was an environment, and it all changed to the medical field. So we had a house full of doctors and, people in that field. Based on that, and what I would like for the people that are having a hard time making ends meet, prepare them to teach them a vocational skill to have them fend for themselves. You teach them how to fish, not necessarily how to just give things to them, but for them, you're giving them that in order for them to be successful and to continue to provide for them. And hopefully they will in turn later on, but that's their business, pay it forward. So there would be a school for technical that would be offered for free for people that cannot find another recourse, or that they cannot seem to find, that fall through the cracks and cannot seem to get a hold of anything to subsist. That has always been a thing for me. The other thing, I always wanted a colony of people, of friends that live together, but I'm thinking of a big farm, of a lot of land and a lot of horses and a river and all of that. So the land and the people that work the land and the people that do all of that. And yes, at that point, because I have enough money to, I will have the house, the huge house. I will have a very big house only because I have family that I would like them to be, with me, for vacations and things. And I would like also the people. I like the butler and the housemaid and the groundskeeper and all of that. Um, so that's what I would like to do. Aside from also um, create a place where the homeless can come, rather than to be, I see through Unity that a lot of people couldn't even come to get fed because the people in the town, the policing and no, you can't be here, no, you cannot feed this person, no, you cannot do this. I saw Alec, going through all of these things, and so that bothered me. That I said there has got to be a place where people can come, and I'm not just talking one little place, I'm talking several places on the city or whatever, that will cater to these people, kind of like a feeding kitchen or something, or maybe a restaurant that will also cater to them. So that's my, and then, that's as far as I can extend seven. I mean, that's as much as I can do with 1 billion. Now, if I had another 20 billion, that would be different. The vision had to be bigger than that. Yes, of course, there would be some investments, and I will need to get a tax person. I would have my own lawyer and taxes, some legal representation, and that's it. So this is an exercise of what to expand your mind to be able to receive freely. You do not have to go, okay, I don't need to be rich, I don't need to do this, and I don't need to do that, and I'm comfortable where I'm at. Okay, you get more of the same. If you want to help not only yourself, but other people in a significant way, we need to open up our minds as to what is possible. If you never think in terms of, well, I will just do, I know a million is a lot of money. No, a million is not a lot of money. When we were growing up, a million would be the equivalent of maybe $100,000 now, if that, because it really doesn't extend that much. So a lot of us in my age bracket are still with $1 million, and it's not $1 million. You can't do anything. I mean, you may buy a house maybe, and can you, the upkeep and all of that, and a nice car, and maybe go traveling, but that's about it. Our minds need to open up if you want to create an abundance for your family. We're not talking about you. We're talking about your family. What is it that you would like to do with them? If you don't have family, then your friends. I'm not surrounded by family here. It's just my friends. I haven't seen my. It was 1983, and in 2017, I went to California. So from 1983 to 2017, I didn't see anyone of my family. Okay.
Wow.
Now it's been 3 years or whatever. No, 4 years, going on 4 years, and I would like to see them a little bit more frequently. So I'm talking about opening our minds to see, not only to see what is possible, because it is possible, but with our mindsets of, well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do the other. Open your mind a little bit higher. What can I do? Okay, I have been gifted this money. What do I do with it? Who can I help? What can I do? Who can I serve with this? And it takes the mind off of you, but because you did that, you open it up to universal giving. And when that happens, then the floodgates open. A lot of people don't pay taxes when they're rich, only because there is a lot of charities going on. And people don't understand that. Yeah, there's a lot of tax breaks for the rich and blah, blah, blah. But also, if you pay attention and if you do some searching, you'll realize that there has been also a lot of giving, lots of it. Because money is a tool of circulation. That's what it is. So the more that goes out from you, the more that comes back in. It's like a pump in a pump. You start pumping it and it continues. And suddenly you're in the flow. I thought it was important for whoever needed to hear this today, um, to think beyond yourself. That yes, okay, I'm at this age, I will be retiring in 5 years, or I will be retiring in whenever, or but okay, can we think past ourselves, past our family, our immediate family, and our little trips? All that will be covered. That's not even an issue. Because the moment that you went further from you or away from your little identity part, you open up a world, a universe. It's a universal law that and that you open a door to extreme abundance. And I call it extreme abundance because it is extreme giving. And so think for yourself, what would you do with 1 billion, 2 billion, or 50 million, or whatever your thing is, but think past you. Think past your needs and past your identity and past your family. You know, I do think of my family only because I have not seen them continuously. And when I did see my family after 30 some odd years, I spent 2 weeks with them. But anyway, that's what this was about. So I want to know if anybody can think that high, can think in millions and in billions, or has it ever occurred to you that you could? Has it occurred to you that you may call, the universe is knocking, can you help us? Can you do this? Can you do that? Are you open to receive? Or no, you know, I don't have to use that much. I don't have to do, you know, reminds you somebody with paper products having problems. And I'm not talking during the pandemic, I'm talking before. It's like, okay, you use this much toilet paper, and a napkin can be used for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The one napkin a day. And, you know, nothing wrong with them because they're comfortable with that. Okay. But I'm not. Uh, I'm the queen of toilet paper and of napkins. So that doesn't work for me. Anyhow, let's get into a little bit more past past the exercise on being open to receiving a major way. And I'm talking about this because somebody can actually do this in this group. Okay, so I'm putting this out there. Pay attention, listen to what I'm saying. One of us can do this, if not all of us. If one of us can do it, the rest of us can too. That's what Jesus said. What I can do, you can do also, and better things than I would you do. Okay, last week I was talking about a book that my friend Michael Cooper wrote that is called "Is Monday Only in Your Mind." So he talks about it and he writes about it. Um, and today I took several of his topics and we're going to talk about each one. So I'm going to start with the storyless peace. Peace. The only way you will ever be truly at peace is without the story that something other than this moment will provide peace. When this is understood, So then your peace will be understood. Only at this moment can you be at peace. You cannot plan for peace, or like when I get my job, or when I get my house, or when I get somebody to behave a certain way, or when I get to do this or that. That's not peace. That's your ego pushing. Everyone has a story. No one goes through life without a story. But the story really isn't the issue. Issues arise when the story becomes your controlling energy. Emphasis on controlling energy. A few years ago, my mom was sick, so I wrote the story of my mom not doing well, how that affects me, and how I make it my story. But it isn't my story. It's just it's just what was happening. Since there are 5 siblings in my family, we all have different versions of the mom's story. None of them are the same. None are right or wrong. The stories are all valid. They're just what each one of us perceives. Here's why any story creates an issue, and I emphasis on any story. Someone posted how happy they were that in a few days they were going on vacation. This means right now they're not happy. Although this seems innocent, it is not, because this simple statement blocks out truly living life and being at peace right here, right now, or happy or in harmony, or through whatever else you want to feel that makes you feel good. This is the issue a story creates. It doesn't allow you to be with the fullness of life that you're living in this moment. It's always when this or that happens, feeling your own story, blank, 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 and then I will be at peace. But that story is your block to your freedom. The only way you will ever truly be at peace is without the story that something or other in this moment will provide peace. When this is understood, so will your peace be understood without a story. The story of peace never results in peace. So that's that about the storyless peace. And Lisa, what do you think of that?
I had a question about what you just said.
Okay.
But now I wanted to ask it, but I didn't want to interrupt you. Oh, what was it? Well, what I think is really interesting is I just took a class last night specifically on increasing abundance and prosperity and releasing the scarcity kind of thinking. And it was pretty powerful. And she really talked about how prosperity is interwoven to everything, relationships and so on. But then I was listening to Panache Desai, and he was talking about some of the same things you just talked about, just peace and the stories and the peace of when we really are able to let go of those stories and have more peace, then we're also gaining more enlightenment. But what did you want me to comment on about what he said?
No, I wanted to see if you had any questions. Number one, you didn't have a
I did
question.
have a question. I should have written it down because now I can't remember what it was. If you reread that, I could remember.
It's a storyless peace.
Storyless.
You cannot have peace without attaching a story. If you attach a story, pretty much postponing it as when you go on vacation, when you get married, when you get a boyfriend,
you have a
when you
baby.
get a house, when your grandchild is born, when add whatever you want to, and then you'll be truly happy when you go and see your baby your grandbaby, and when you do this, and when you know, when you see your boyfriend, or when you, whatever it is, I can't wait to, don't use the, you know, if you're using the words, I cannot wait till, you know, to truly be in that enamored state, or in that high vibration that you perceive you're going to get when you get there. Because that's a story. That's the story you're telling yourself. I'll be happy when I can communicate, you know, with my uh, best friend that passed on, you know, in a more concrete manner. Or you know, and that's a true story. I mean, I'm talking about me. Whatever you're, I will be this and that and the other. When something happens, that's the storyline. And aside from that, I wanted you to feel the first two exercises we did today had to open your mind to be more financially secure, and more to allow the flow of millions to come through you. That's what the first two exercises were about. Um, you know, I knew I was talking to one of you, but I didn't know who. I mean, I still don't know who. So, Charlotte, do you have any questions? No. Okay. Anybody else before I continue? No. Okay. Hi, Sarah. I didn't know you joined us. Nice to acknowledge that you're here.
Hi, Angie. Thanks.
Okay. So the next topic is becoming aware. Becoming aware and learning from your practice allows for those who were once lost to now be found, and those that were blind to now see. But only if there's awareness that allows this. And that's where I told you to pause. When something's happening, pause. Be aware of the moment and what is happening. The pause allows the observer to come in and stick the awareness into you. Like, for example, your brain. This is not from the book. Now, this is me. For example, if you have a mind that is always wanting to create, the mind is always busy, always thinking, and always carrying on, and that is natural for the mind to do so. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is the attachment to ideas. The more attached that you are to ideas and um, to conditioning, the more that you are going to have a problem detaching from whatever the subject is, whatever the issue is. Uh, a, a, a mind that continues to carry on, if you don't put it on pause and allow for the awareness of you to be present, and the only way you can be actually present in the middle of all that mind um, talk is to pause. Just stop and pause. Just go up and pause, and then count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Why? Because the moment you start counting backwards, your mind cannot allow you to stay in a position of the past or the future. You're counting backwards to stay present. Once you hit 0, there's nothing in front or behind you. So stop, pause. Allow your awareness to come in and to filter through you, because you're giving it a space, the space to do so. Okay, enough of me. Back to the story. If there's not an awareness process in place for your practice, it will be difficult to proceed in a direction where there will be any expansion in your life. The first thing to become aware of is if you even have a practice in place that's practical and beneficial. I don't mean a practice of belonging to certain groups, although there's nothing wrong with that. But if it's in place to just keep you busy, it's not nearly as a beneficial practice. This is talking about people that are always in groups or going to the next lesson or the next. It's too much going on because the mind is going to keep you that way and it's going to keep you occupied. You need to have this and you need to have that and you need to study this, and somehow it's never enough to just relax and to just be. And I'm not talking to anyone in particular. I'm talking about the ability to see with the single eye that you can allow yourself that presence that will fill you and not the groups. Okay, including this group. Although it is a practice, how it's working to quiet the mind or how to keep how it keeps the mind agitations in place is what one needs to be aware of to allow for the continuous expansion of life's process. I'm sharing this because this is what has allowed me to see what is seen today. There's no magic to this. A beneficial practice must be in place if one is to experience beneficial results. This is as simple as 1 plus 1 equals 2. Be aware of your behavior, reactions, attachments, annoyances, and whatnot, and see what the driving force behind them is. This driving force is the block to expanding beyond the nonsense of the conditioned mind. Without a solid practice in place that allows this to be seen, you might as well not practice at all because it's just a waste of time and energy. Either do what is beneficial or don't do it. Don't do it at all. One can only be free by being free, as only a practice that puts you into harmony with life and allows harmony with life. I practiced unconsciously for many years, and it produced results that weren't beneficial. But I have since become aware and learned from this, and because of this, where I was once lost, I'm now found, and where I was blind, I now see. But only because of having the awareness in place that allows this. Becoming aware allows for the space so truth can arise. So this is about becoming aware. Any questions? Yes. Yes, Lisa.
What's the name of the author?
Michael Kupo.
Kuppl.
CUPO.
Okay, and the book again?
It's only Monday in your mind.
Okay.
This is not necessarily from the book. What I take is after he wrote the book, he gives different different blogs to different people, and we all get to examine it and comment on that. And that's what I'm doing with this group. I have his permission to do so, but this is not material that can be shared with anybody else. You can use it for you. Okay. We're Yes, Sarah.
My question would be to this awareness arising. I like the way Panaj describes it as that there's always a part of you that is aware. And so you're really not getting anything new. You're just opening yourself up to the part of you that always is aware. It's not like you all of a sudden become aware, right?
Right. The awareness is always there, but it gets drowned by all the mind
Mm-hmm.
chatter. So when I say be present or be aware, I mean pause.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, literally pause. Put yourself in pause. See, like right now, everybody, hit the pause button. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Some of us are able to quiet the mind a little bit, where it's not as busy. If you need to do it again, you do it again until you are more calm and more calm. This is a way to stop the mind chatter, where it's not overtaking you. That also, and at the same time, being when you do this, it will be okay to bring the observer, which is actually your awareness, but I call it your, when I say, bring the observer in, that's you, the part of you that is always present, that
Okay.
doesn't miss a thing and knows exactly where you're at all times. It is your best guide, it is your source of wisdom.
Thank you.
Mhm. Okay. Moving on. Prayers of love. The nature of our prayers determine the energy manifested in our life. The nature of our prayers determines the energy manifested in our life. If they are selfish in nature, they will be from our head. But if they are of love, the results will be from the energy of our heart. A quiet mind is a praying heart. Thy will, not mine, be done is the essence of prayer. When we transform our energy from the noise in our head to the love of our heart, this quality of energy has to be transforming effect from destructive to loving. This can be done with something as simple as a deep breath. If you take a deep breath and release, like Virginia said, okay, let it go out with a sigh. It creates also a pause. It's a pause. Why do you relax? Is not only the exercise to let go of that air, because breathing in itself, you can use breath to calm yourself down. The breath coming in is the intake, and the breath going out, specifically with a sigh, is it creates a space of quiet. And when that happens, we feel a release. We feel like we can let go. So if you can just stop and pause and breathe, you become more and more an adept on quieting the mind. So back to the book. Okay, this can be done with something as simple as the breath. This is the true nature of prayer that can be used to keep our self-serving conditioned mind patterns from controlling our life. The more we learn to use it, the more we will want to use it. Praying ceaselessly, to me, means being aware of your thoughts, understanding which ones are useful, and letting go of the ones that are not. It's rather simple. One will either do the things that are useful and beneficial to their life force, or one will not. It is a choice. Course in Miracles talks about choose again. Learn to choose again and again and again. Everyone has a story of what love is, but love will only truly be known in silence. The more noise there is between one's ears, the less one lives from the love in their heart. Not because one doesn't want to love, but because one doesn't know how to love. Love is not selective, so if you don't love everyone, you don't love. Did you hear that? Love is not selective, so if you don't love everyone, you don't love. Either see this truth or remain in the created story of what love is. I'm not saying I know what love is for sure, but I certainly know that love isn't. What love isn't. Not because it was read in some book, but because it is the prayer of my heart. And when one prays ceaselessly from the heart, and love is the energy that's emitted to others. A loving heart is a prayer to the world. A loving heart is a prayer to the world. So when you are on meditation and Virginia or I tell you, okay, put your hands forward towards the camera and give love to each other and extend it to the world, you're coming from a place of love already. I don't ask you to do that when I first start on a meditation because you're not in that space yet. But the moment that I feel that everybody's in that space, I said, okay, now, do that now. It's called the prayer to the world. So what, so Sarah, what do you think of that?
I think that that speaks to my heart as being true. My ego wants me to fight against it because I have this tendency to want to pick and choose and be selective. But that takes away that from the unity, and it focuses on the separation that is just an illusion. So I think that's a wonderful thing to work towards. But I know you don't have to work, you just have to do it. But yes, I think that's great.
Okay, thank you. Elsa.
Well,
Your thoughts?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Prayer of love was as we are, as we were chosen to be, as we are. That's all I can say. As we create, has been created. As God has put us here as divine people, and as divinity, as everything. Uh, that's all I can say. I mean, we have to spread it. We've been selected to do so. So that's all I can say. Spread the word, spread the love.
Love is universal.
It is it can be selective, as you said.
It can be
And
selective, and there's nothing wrong with that. But
no.
you are always like, I don't know, one of you said earlier, you know, the awareness is always there. That was Sarah, I think. The awareness is always there. The same, well, the same presence, the same love is always there, but it is drowned by so much conditioning of the mind that.
But
But
didn't
there's
we
a difference. There's a
didn't
difference.
we didn't we learn those conditions through how we were our cultures, the time that we were growing up, or the schools that we went, or the parents that we had, or many other things. But now we are adults and we understand. So if we take that away, you know, um, I think we can be better every day, because we keep fighting things, and I don't think we should fight anything. Just accept each other and accept everything as it is, and that's the true love.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that there is also a place. We came here to experience being human aside from uh, other things that we came to do. And that's where the love of the parent and love of the um, lover and the love of your spouse and friends and individual love comes in, because this is what the human experiences. And I'm not denying that. There is a place for everything, but not that in your heart, like you what you express basically is that we all have the divinity and that spark within us.
Mhm.
And actually, the call is always made to everyone, but not everybody responds to help. Not everybody, it's not everybody's calling to be, you know, to be of assistance or of spreading the love, or we all are called to do so, but not everybody is able to listen to the awareness that is within them. And as we continue on our path, the more and more aware we become. It's
Mhm.
not. It's always a choice. Awareness is a choice. It's not something that is not there already. It's always there, and it's
Mhm.
always a choice. And there's nothing to work out. The thing is, you want to be aware or not, or do you want to have all of these things that you need to do in order to justify that you're alert, but you're actually wasting your time? So, that being said,
Mhm.
um, I'm in agreement with you.
I see.
Anybody else has questions?
Yes, Sam.
Yes,
What do you
Sam.
what your last statement? Oh gosh, we all needing things to justify our awareness. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Like what? Can you give me an example?
Okay, I'm attending this class right now, and then tonight I'm gonna be listening to somebody else, and then I'm gonna be doing something else with somebody else, and then I wanna do my own thing, and I wanna do this and that, and maybe I can understand it better. You already are there if you will pay attention to what everyone is telling you. There's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing to fix. So just do it. Basically, this is what this my take on this, not necessarily your take, but mine is that just do it. Just do what you came here to do. Just leave the excuses behind. That's what I mean by that, Sam. Lisa, you had your hand raised.
You started the beginning of this section. You started when we transform. I think you said I didn't get.
I'm not sure what your question is.
No, you were reading from the book, his book.
No, I'm not reading from the book. I am
Well, in the
reading
very
from
beginning,
some.
when you started this section where we, you started again with.
Yeah, when I started this section, which
You
was
started with when we
prayer,
transform.
prayers of love.
Uh-huh.
So what exactly is your question?
Are you asking, did you say when we transform the prayers of love? Is that what you said?
No,
I didn't get that sentence.
when we transform, what I said in transformations is when we transform our energy from the noise in our head to the love in our heart.
Okay.
This quality of energy has the transforming effect from destructive to loving. That's what I said.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Why is everybody disappearing on me? Everybody's, let's see, I have Elsa and Sam and Charlotte and Sarah and Virginia. All without a face. I'm talking to a screen. Okay, next subject, attached thoughts. It's imperative to learn to just be, because even if what you do comes from a labeled place of love, this label produces bondage of an attached thought, which controls you like any other attached thought. If you can't watch your own thoughts to decipher which ones are beneficial, hold on, because you will be taken on the roller coaster ride called life. Not that life does anything directly to anyone, but thoughts arise. Thoughts arise, and they determine what kind of ride you will be on. Noticing the attached thoughts is essential if one is not controlled by them. Thoughts are a natural part of life. They will arise. As far as I know, there's no way of controlling what thoughts arise, but I have found that noticing them allows for a split-second hesitation that can be used to decipher whether the thought is beneficial. Remember, attachment to any thought causes suffering no matter how one labels it. I often say the conditioned mind is diabolical, and unless there's some awareness of how controlling your thoughts actually are, they will, and this must happen, control you as if you were a puppet on a string. So subtle is this control that even if you're doing things that are labeled as loving, if these thoughts aren't watched, they will eventually control you. Bondage is bondage regardless of what label is applied to the thought, including love. Therefore, the conditioned mind is diabolical because in its subtleness is using whatever it can to remain in control. This is also why it's imperative to learn how to just be, because even if what you do comes from a labeled place of love, the bondage this produces is that of an attached thought, which controls you like any other attached thought. Nothing controls you until you attach to it. Nothing controls you until you attach to it.
I got a question.
Just one?
Yeah, just one right now. So if I'm attached to a thought, is that like I believe in it? Is that what you mean? Like,
Let's say that you said, if I, everything that you have in a thought can become a mantra. If you have a repeated moments of the same thought, whether it is for the so-called good or the bad, the overthinking of anything and the attachment to an idea. If you attach to something, you're limiting all, you're limiting what is. If
okay,
you
I guess I need
attach
an
to,
example. Yeah.
okay, if you attach, let's say I'm having,
I can give her an example.
Okay.
Okay,
okay,
I have a business. My business is Airbnb, renting property. And I had the limitation that I have to have, this is the only way I can have any source of income that allows me any flexibility. And I had a very limiting thought about the business that wasn't even aware of until a few months or weeks ago. And it was just a very simple thought, like, I cannot retire until this age because I have to do this business because, it was just all the different but, and I don't know if that's a good example. I didn't really state that very well,
it
but
is a good
Would that be like
example.
if I thought just like Angie was saying earlier, that we don't have to work hard for prosperity, it comes to us. So if I have a thought, I have to work hard to make good money, that's my attachment.
yeah.
That is a perfect attachment, yes, but like,
My
okay,
mother used to always say,
working hard, or
yeah,
let's say me working for this class. Okay, I'm gonna give you something as rudimentary as my preparing for this class. I have been known sometimes to sit here on this desk from midnight to 8 o'clock. Just playing with the computer and doing different things and putting things together, and I'm going, and then I will hardly sleep. 2 weeks ago, I decided, okay, I have hit a point where I don't need to continually be. I'm gonna bring you other points of view of the same thing with a different twist to them, because some of my friends have done that. So same examples, same things, different language, because we are so attached to how things sound and how things, and what touches us and what doesn't touch us. So I'm giving you examples of what I have taught you in a different format. And I'm doing this for your benefit, so you will see how different teachers teach the same stuff in different ways.
Yeah, and we all
Mm.
learn a little
that
differently.
are
Yeah.
that are yes, that are, we're all essentially giving the same messages in a different way, and sometimes we need a different input, and this is what I'm giving you now, the different input. I have given you my own resources and how I put them together. Now I need to give you everybody else's input. So to work at it and to understand it better, or to give it a different twist that gives you a different perspective that you might have somewhat overlooked that, right? So
Right.
that's what I'm giving you. So I worked 8 hours a night, or 12 or 1 o'clock, or whenever I got here in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm working till whatever time. And I said, so then I reached out to some friends and I said, do you mind if I use your material? I said, so they can see the variance and the things that I might not have said, or the things that people overlooked and I think I said. This will give them a chance to rehearse or to rehash or to better understand what I tried to say before in a different format. So if I was to just remain where I'm at, it would be an attachment to my teachings, that only the way that I teach is the way that things are. And yes, I'm telling you the truth, and other people are telling you also the truth, but all truth, whoever speaks the truth, you will recognize it, because truth is not only heard, truth is also felt.
Yeah.
So when I started using somebody else's material, all I had to do was, okay, let me see what I want to, you know, from what we discuss and what we go back and forth with materials, and see what actually works for this class. And I have to sift through his materials and see what it is I want to do. And it doesn't occupy that much of my time, because at this point I'm reading and copying and pasting and putting things together. And if there's a question, then I can answer. So it's I didn't become attached to my format. I was willing to let that go, and it became easier on me. But it didn't
Yeah.
take anything away from the class. It just added a different perspective to it.
Okay.
You got that?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, Sarah.
I think we tend, when you talk about this kind of stuff, to focus on attachment to negative thoughts. I would like to speak a little bit more to even the loving thoughts that can cause
Yeah.
bondage.
Mm-hmm.
I think that tends to be way overlooked.
Yes.
So, like, even ideas of everyone should be treated equally, or I just, can you give some ideas of loving ideas that create bondage still?
Ideas. Let's say that I'm very loving towards my boyfriend, or I'm very and I am so attached to a certain routine, in that love, in that thing, and I want to feel your emotion. I want you to demonstrate. I want you to be emotionally available to me. I need that to reassure my loving, that how much you love me or whatever. Do show some emotion. Do give me some flowers. Do allowing the attachment of what it means to be loved in a human way. And that is our idea, that this is something that I may perceive as, you know, what love is in a romantic relationship. But he might not even be in the same thing. He might say, okay, I do this for you, and I'm being with you, and you know, I show affection, and, I'm not exactly sure why I have to follow a specific script. Or my mom, let's say that I had a mother, and my mother was living with me, and I would go, okay, I cannot really be myself on my mom, because I'm going to be used as an excuse not to say what you truly think, or not to do some things, because you're in love of an attachment to what does love represent to you. Truth, if you talk to me about um, that, I went the other way. I went like, okay, I'm gonna tell you exactly how things are. and I'm not necessarily sweet about it. I'll just tell you what it is. You deal with it, you come to your own conclusions, and then, but I'm going to leave you with that. The truth is this, I have seen this and that and the other, and I know it's me because I'm the one feeling that. Rather than projecting it to my mom, I'll take responsibility, or instead of projecting it to my husband or my child or the neighbor or the country or the city or the government, we use love as an excuse not to do a lot of things. The attachment to what love means, that's like Camille says, the label of love, the label of thinking that you are all that, and that you're loving and that you're caring and that you're all of this. But is that really the truth? Are you really acting in truth? Are you really acting in, I'm going to bring out the 4 agreements. Are you in integrity? Are you in your word? Are you making assumptions? Are you doing your best? Are you, um, we're talking about you. We're not talking about anybody else outside of you, including with the label of love and how you treat others. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, that does. It seems like that's 100% distinguishable from like our true truth of like our divinity and the things that we resonate with on a deeper conscious level. As see, I guess I was trying to distinguish between those things. Like one is obviously the like ego love of what you expect, and all of those ideas along with it that you've created. And I think what you just said was that that's totally a different topic from our true truth of that is beyond those the society beliefs and expectations and stuff. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I want to be able to hold on to those things. Like those are the things that are so naturally fulfilling and sustaining, I guess. So I wanted to clarify about the real truth of things, just in my head to make it work. So thank you.
Okay. Anybody else with questions?
Yeah, I'd like to follow up with this question.
I'm sorry?
I'd like to follow up with this question.
Okay.
I have a concern. So
Okay.
if the truth uh, if the truth can be also viewed, if you look at it as an observer and you are looking all this as an observer, being that it's not affecting you as 100%. You could be true, you could be kind, and as I use my motto that you can love everyone. However, how this question that Sam just asked can be bundled in through all that, because being true to someone, you can be kind when you say the truth
Exactly.
without offending someone.
I
However,
didn't, yeah. Mhm.
however, I mean, sometimes the truth is really dearly struggling. It's dearly harsh, right? Um, and not everyone has the, how do I say this, the words maybe to be as kind, right? So being as an observer, and that's the position I have put myself before in order to respond to someone. But how can you cope with that? How can I? I lost myself. I don't know if you understand my position right now. The question that Sam just asked, and be kind at the same time, giving that love.
Okay, Elsa, please remind me what the question was that Sam said.
Well, Sam was saying that that she need to cope with the loving feelings of, you know, the family and the people around her, right?
Right.
So, and
Uh,
not attach those feelings.
Having the truth said, the truth speaks for itself. It doesn't need any specific handling. Uh, can you be gentle? Can you be suave about delivery of the truth? That is your choice. How you handle that as a human in your own Elsa expression. If that
Yes.
works for you, uh, the easier it becomes, for you. Whatever happens, however your delivery of the truth is, as long as it is in truth, it doesn't have any prerequisites. You're gonna come across as who your personality dictates, because your personality will say, okay, we need to use kid gloves here because this person is hurting and this person is this and this person is that, regardless of who the person is. The truth is that if you have some truth to say, you should listen to it yourself. Number one, you're the very first person that truth speaking to. If you can accept it for you, you can deliver it with no pain. But if you have pain, you're going to deliver that somewhat chaotically. So nobody can take something away from you or the way you want to express, because that is your divine willpower, which was given to you freely, and there's nothing wrong with it. We all come in different forms to give different messages, and it's the same message. The message of love is always the same message. How we choose to deliver it is our prerogative, and it's also according to how much we understand what we're talking about. I do enjoy your truth. I have spoken to you and I have heard you, and you're quite passionate about your truths,
Yeah.
and I'm okay with that. Um, and I welcome that, specifically because this is outside of class that we are able to discuss things in a different manner. There's no confusion on how you deliver your messages to how I deliver my messages. It's just different personalities at work.
Right. I see. I can always tell the truth. I don't find myself no saying the truth. I can't find myself not saying it. I'd rather be quiet in that
No, I'm
case.
not a quiet person. If I have the truth and you need to hear it, I will say it. It's up to you whether you want to listen to it or not. I don't say things to try to convince people, but I do say things that, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, that's it. I'm not a pusher and I'm not a believer in you know, because that truth came to me about them or about whoever, but that truth belongs to me and is talking to me about me, even
Right.
though I'm putting my finger out there and telling them what they need to hear, including this class. This class is for me.
Right.
For me
No.
first, and then
Right.
if I understand what I'm talking, then I can, then I can deliver it.
Explain to us. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Angie.
Yes. Let me see. I'm gonna pick on somebody. Okay, give me 1 second. Charlotte,
Yes.
what do you think of this?
Well, I think it's great. Well,
I mean, about the comments and what I said and what they said and all of that. What's your own opinion?
what is my what?
What is your truth? What do you get out of this?
Well, what I get, the only thing I had a question about, I understood it all except about the last part, about the positive part.
Oh, the same as Sarah.
Yes.
Okay. What is it that you don't? What is it that you don't understand? The attachment to a specific truth. Let's say that you came and you, as you grew up in your spiritual path, you believe certain things, and you were
Yeah.
attached to those things, and then but you had to let them go because you understood differently as you got more information, and so your whole thought process changed on that. But if you didn't want to change, then you will still have remained where you previously were at.
Okay, that makes more sense when you say it like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Did that resonate with you? Did that?
Yes. Yes, it did.
Okay. So what is your take on this?
Well, I think the take is it's basically some of the same stuff we talk about, only it's a different way of saying it.
Right. And I'm saying it this way and I'm putting it in a different format because we don't have to necessarily have the just what I said. I need you to hear different perspectives because you as someone else is able to even as you think, when you're thinking spiritually, you are affecting the astral world. You are becoming a teacher just by your thoughts alone. And
Yes.
it is creating an impact in other realms, whether they're physical or not, including the physical, but mostly you're affecting the astral and you're affecting other realms of existence because people in other things are also listening and also hearing you because you're vibrating at that level. Anything that vibrates at the level of the thought you're thinking is being affected by your contribution to them.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and I appreciate a different perspective on sort of the same thing, especially when you first started talking about peace. I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. Where I know I've heard it before, but sometimes it just resonates a little different.
right, it's just a different perspective of how
Yeah.
people see different things,
Yes.
and none of them is wrong,
Right.
only a different perspective.
Yes. I like that, having a different perspective.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank,
Okay,
thank you.
yes. Okay, time for meditation. Let me drink something and I'll be right there. Okay, please put your hands on your heart. I want you to intend that as you put every time that you put your hands on your heart, you're opening to love. The intention is to open up to love. You opening up to your own love, that you are worthy of that love. Okay? So, having said that, breathe in deeply and relax. And breathe in deeply and relax. One last time, breathe in deeply and let go. Let go. Allowing peace and joy to be present. Allowing, just allow the love. Charlotte, can you please mute yourself? Allowing peace, allowing joy. You are that love that you seek. You think you're seeking it from outside, but you're actually seeking your own love, your own validation, not somebody else's. You are the light of your life, your wisdom. You want to acknowledge who you are. It's within you. That wisdom that you seek, it's already yours. The love that you crave is yours. You're never alone. That's what you need to find out, not to discard yourself. You are loving. You crave your own love more than anything else. At home with you, at home with God. Home is where the heart is. It truly is the spiritual heart that enfolds that body that you express through individually. You are that spirit that inhabits all of us, expressing individually as each one of us. We're not separated. It's the oneness of spirit wanting to be recognized by you as you. Know that you are safe. You are enfolded in safety, in love, in gratitude for your expression. You are enfolded in harmony and in truth. You are that spark of expression, of divine expression. You're not only loved, but you are cherished and wanted. We all need your expression because it's part of our expression. You're not expressing individually, but collectively. not to deny your individuality, but you're also, and this is what you need to know, is you're expressing collectively to everyone who's vibrating at your same vibration. You are love itself, your harmony, you are joy, peace, nourishment, compassion, compassion for self, self-compassion. You are also passionate. Everyone was given a spark of passion in our different areas, and we all function perfectly when we allow ourselves to be to be that love, that charity, that compassion, that goodwill. You are the perfection that God created, exactly as God created, in its image. Yes, we're all the sparks of the divine. I want you to feel your joy. Your joy is present at each moment. Love never abandons you, it's always there. Harmony is always with you. As it is safety, as it is abundance, all you have to do is call it forth. It's already there, it's a done deal. Calling peace into your field, into our fields, and calling wisdom into our fields, and compassion, self-compassion, and self-healing, knowing that you're in integrity and you are complete, allowing that to take place. Breathe in and absorb all that. Absorb all that because that is who you are. Absorb that into the body you're using. The bodies that we are using. More correctly said, the bodies that I use. Speaking for each one of us, the bodies that I am, that I am, that I am, uses. The energy of integrity, come forth. The energy of peace, come forth. The energy of divine love, come forth. The energy of divine truth, you're acknowledged. I am those things. We are those things. We can rest on those things. You don't rest the body on a bed, you rest your body in truth. You rest your body in love. You rest your body in compassion, in harmony, in safety. You are all those things, bring them forward to express in your body. Then you can sleep peacefully. Then you can be more agreeable with yourself. You are the way. When Jesus spoke, I am the way. Yes, he was the way. For him, the truth and the light. Yes, he was. As I'm telling you right now, yes, you are the way, the truth, and the light. That's who you are in truth. I want you to feel the love emanating from your hands into your heart. I want you to expand that energy and start giving it to each one of us that is present in this room right now. And for whoever that is going to be listening to this later on, expand your hands and face the screen with your healing energy, with your loving energy, an energy of love, an energy of peace, an energy recognizing our infinity, our loving attitude, our peace and our joy that we're giving to each other. Now I want you to feel that same energy floating to all of your family members, all of them without exception. Allowing joy. Now I want you to extend the energy, expand it further, going to the United States, and send that energy and flood the United States with love and peace and mercy and compassion and understanding and unity. I call forth the force of unity to all Americans, to all the peace in this nation. I call for peace. I had called for the loving energy to come forward, to emanate from all the beings that resonate at our vibration. I know that they will join with this as I am calling them to do so. That part of them that knows that I'm putting this call forth, unity, love, peace, harmony to this land, to its environment, to its animals, all of the environmental issues that are truly non-issues and easily to resolve. I'm calling forth peace that passes understanding. Just let it come, compassion. Now I want you to take that vision and spread it worldwide, worldwide, and put it into the entire world, all the atmosphere, the hemispheres, all the grids, all the templates, all the oceans, all the bodies of water, all the earth, all the trees, all the vegetation, inland and on the ocean, in the ocean. I speak peace to you. I speak health, perfect health to you. I speak sanity, balance, harmony, unity, It's time to unite. Unity and peace. Let your love flow. I want you to start coming back into your room. Put your hands in your heart, sending that energy to your entire body, from the top of the head to the bottoms of your feet. Allowing for peace and wisdom to reign. And so it is. You are blessed. Blessings. Waiting for everybody to get back in sync. Virginia,
Yes.
okay, now is our time. So stop the recording.